Just wanted to ask a question directly to the management, which is the new management. I'm thinking merging with the old management. Just a question is, what is it going to be in the future for Riverside?
Fundamentally, I think what we wanted when we started off the school, I think what I wanted also would be what the future holds for us. Because we do a lot of things well, and with the new evolution, whatever dreams, ideas and passions that we had, I think those are going to be really fulfilled in the future, and that is something I'm really looking forward to, because it's been something that's been, as I said, maybe a life passion for me. So that's what I see for Riverside in the future, exactly what I started off thinking that this is what a school should be like.
Riverside has always been about the students and betterment of the students. We respect this culture. We understand the importance it holds in the hearts of the parents, the students and all the important stakeholders. What we have taken inspiration from is the culture itself. Now, like Dr. Suresh said, we intend to do everything better than what we've already done. Now, as part of evolution, some things would change. But as part of evolution again, we also have to remember where we've come from. Now, to do all that we are intending to do, we ask for the support of the parents. Now, we would be going about changes in infrastructure. We'd be going about progress in our system itself, using the help and support of experts as and when necessary or where necessary, while still remaining true to our core philosophy. So Riverside would be a better institution than what it already is, and to better what we've already done is a tough task. So we are putting a lot of thought into how we go about this, and we intend to listen to you all and ensure that Riverside is better than what it is today.
My children and me are happy with the existing system, and I've already heard about Vision 2020. I'm a little bit concerned about what kind of changes will happen in the next 5 years.
This is the question that's been most frequently asked. Over the last couple of years, when we were looking to evolve, one thing that we were very careful about was that we wanted somebody to assure us that our culture would not change. Because I think part of the fundamental ethos or the USP of Riverside is its culture. A lot of schools are there with a lot of different characteristics, a lot of infrastructure, maybe a lot of gimmicks and stuff like that. But with Riverside, it's always been, the culture of being child-centered, to look at the child always in his or her entirety. And that is what we've been always doing, and we will always continue to do. So one thing that we were looking forward to was somebody who would maintain this culture of being honestly child-centered. But change, on the other hand, is inevitable. I mean, there will be subtle changes, pretty positive, all for the good. Not something that we would, should be scared about. But change in a lot of areas where we really need improvement, yes, there will be change. But in what fundamentally affects a parent or a child, I don't think that'll ever change in Riverside.
Again, I'm just going to resonate and reflect upon what has been shared by Dr. Suresh. Parents or anybody is apprehensive about change. And until you see that change, you would never believe in that change. But when that change is induced by you, it's a change that you have asked for in the process of evolution itself, then I don't believe you should be concerned about it. Because every time we go out there to do something for your children and for you as parents, we ask you all. We value your suggestions, and then we go about it. Now, Riverside has been so many things in the past. Now, Doctor's spoken about the cultural component and how we've come to be a part of it. Now, as a part of it, we respect all that in Riverside's legacy. Now, it is also a certain matter of focus to see that how do we progress further from here? And as I stated earlier, we're listening to you. So if there is any suggestion you have out there, please come by, let us know. And you need not be worried about any change that is to happen at Riverside. For all we intend to do, and as we've spoken about, is be better than we already are.
I hear that there will be a lot of additions with regard to extracurricular activities, with regard to sports, music and other activities. In coming years, if this increase, I would like to know if the children would lose focus on their studies, or will it be a balanced one?
Again, this is a question that has been asked many times, and if I fundamentally believed that any activity would actually hamper academics, we wouldn't have had any activity at all. Because I've honestly believed that the more activity you give children, the better their academics is going to be. That is something that I've always believed in, and I've seen it even when I was in school. There was never a case where somebody did too many activities and didn't do well in academics. I fundamentally believe that every child has a certain level of academic capability, and it's our job to try and find that level and enhance that level. So the question of whether activity or more activity, and people say that avanga vilayadranga, romba vilayadranga, they will say something like that as if it is the fault of cricket or something else that is affecting it. I don't think that's true. I think that a question of where they are capable of and where we can help them is what will determine their academic capability, and not the amount of activity that any child involves themselves in.
As part of Riverside's culture, we've portrayed ourselves as education not being only about marks. Education not being only about where a child runs home to the parents saying, I scored so much, this teacher is happy because I did this. Yes, we're happy if the teacher congratulates a child, but not about only the theoretical component or the academic component that is confined within the four walls of the classroom. Education is a lot more than that. Education is about a lifestyle, and Riverside has done it wonderfully well over the last decade. Now, activities is again part of the lifestyle. How do you look forward to how do you intend for your children to speak to somebody if not given the opportunity to converse with the world? And how do you expect for your child to be hale and healthy if you're not going to give them an opportunity to walk out, pick up a bat or throw a ball or do whatever they believe is good for them? And how do you even intend for them to go out there and be creative if you're not going to give them sculpting, arts, pottery, all these other opportunities? This is part of their lifestyle and this is part of the curriculum. Unfortunately, for a system as ours, we're not grading the entire thing, but we're looking to grade even that. So yes, an activity that complements academics is what we're looking for. There will be a fine balance, and if by any means we see ourselves going overboard with something, we only do it because we believe that child needs more attention in that discipline. So there will be no overload of activities that compensate on the child's academic performance. There will be a balance, and that balance would be something you would be happy about, and which would also give the child the opportunity to walk out of Riverside as confident people, confident citizens of the society. So do not be worried about the activity-oriented educational system. It is for your child's betterment.